What's happening, guys? Dan Reese here from ZebranoWoodcraft.com. In this video I'll show you how I made this awesome little ring. It was inspired by the new Star Wars movie Rogue One. Basically I was really inspired by the new black stormtroopers. They're known widely online as Death Troopers. Basically they're like these black stormtroopers with kind of like green visors and little green lights in their helmets. I made this ring with some interesting materials. I used Corian and a glow-in-the-dark material called Kirinite, as well as sterling silver and a patina which I got from using liver of sulphur. So let's make us a Death Trooper. I wanted this ring to be nice and chunky at 10mm wide, so I took a sheet of 0.8mm silver sheet and marked a line to follow with my saw. After lubing up the blade with a bit of beeswax, my jewellery saw made quick work of cutting out the silver strip. Before the silver could be bent to shape, I needed to anneal the strip to soften the metal. I did this with my hand torch and heated the strip equally until I saw a soft glow coming off it. I allowed the strip of silver to cool down before using a half round nose pliers to bend it into a rough ring shape. To make the edges fit together nicely, I cleaned them up with a file, making sure that when I was finished, no light could shine through the seam. To clean off the oxidization from annealing, I placed the silver ring blank into a pickling solution for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, I used a 120 grit sandpaper to scratch up the surfaces of my Corian and Kirinite. I did this to help them glue together better. I basically made an acrylic sandwich by supergluing the green glow Kirinite between two pieces of black Corian. While the glue cured, I took my silver out of the pickle and dipped it in bicarb of soda to neutralise the acid and give it a good rinse in water to ensure it was clean, ready for soldering. To solder the ring, I put a bit of flux and a few pieces of silver solder over the seam of the ring and proceeded to heat the silver with my hand torch. When the ring was heated equally, I focused the flame over the seam until the solder flowed into it. I allowed the silver ring to cool down and gave it another bath in the pickle before taking a rawhide mallet to hammer the ring to size. I just put it on the metal mandrel and hammered away until it was round and the right size. Now that my piece of silver actually resembled a ring, I traced the shape of it onto my acrylic sandwich and drilled a hole with the closest fitting drill bit I could find. As the drill bit was slightly too small, I used a rotary tool to sand away the inside of the acrylic ring until I could fit the silver ring inside it. I used the bandsaw and a disc sander to clean up and shape the outside of the acrylic so that was also ring shaped. The next thing to do was to glue the Corian and Kirinite ring to the silver ring. I should have definitely been wearing gloves for this part, but I'm used to getting super glue on my fingers by now. All I did was scratch up the outside surface of the silver ring, applied some super glue and just inserted it into the acrylic carefully. I went back to the disc sander and used a few grits of sandpaper to clean up the edges of the ring and make sure the silver and the acrylic were flush. Then I used progressively finer grits of emery paper to clean up the inside of the silver ring and taper the inside edges. With the insides and edges looking pretty, I mounted the ring on a spindle and sanded it to shape through a few grits of sandpaper before polishing with micromesh to make an even, shiny finish on the ring. A quick buff in with a bit of burnishing cream was the final touch to really bring out the gleam. I decided that the inside of the ring was too bright, so I dipped it into a liver of sulphur bath until it had a nice black, oily patina. I gave it a good rinse and a buffing with a bit of Renaissance wax for good measure. And here's the final piece. All in all, I'm really happy with the Death Trooper ring. It's a unique piece of jewellery, and that glow material really gets super bright when it's charged up. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, and subscribe and watch more of my tutorials. You can also support my channel by visiting zebranowoodcraft.com and checking out my shop. So, until next time, live long and prosper. I mean, may the force be with you.